So every product has a target audience. These videos, this Agile Heretic stream of videos, is definitely a product. The target audience, unfortunately, is everyone involved in software development. So I thought it might be handy to have a quick video that just talked about who is the customer, who is the customer for these videos, and what would I, as a provider, like to see them get from the videos, and to ask you, as also people that might belong to one of these groups, what is it? What is it that you want? Is there the things I should be saying, or ways that I should be couching things, or whatever that I'm not? So, all part of the conversation, all part of transparency and openness. So, who is this for? So I came up with 4 groups: management, customers, coders, and testers. And they all have different value needs. They all overlap. They're confusing. But let's start with management, because it's the most confusing. Management in Agile could be anything from a Scrum Master all the way up to the CEO of a company. The company might or might not have software as what it considers to be its primary business. We tend to, when we talk about Agile, we tend to be very developer centric, but don't necessarily talk a lot about operations in large groups or in app dev in banks or trading houses or whatever. So there's a lot of different types of hats that management might wear. And the way we kind of punt our way out of that is we just say, well, they should all be servant leaders. And then we kind of go off, assuming that we've actually said a sentence. Servant leadership is a nice concept. It is about as meaningless as Agile, or is about as meaningful as Agile. The question is, once we adopt the moniker or the handle of Agile or servant leader, what do we do with it? So for leaders, for management, what I would like you to get out of these videos is the assumption that an Agile team is going to be a communicative team. The assumption that your initial request might change because the team learned something. The understanding that as a manager, or regardless of level, when you feel yourself get frustrated because you don't feel like you're getting product fast enough, or that it's not coming in the right way, or that it's costing too much, or what have you, dollars, hours, money, whatever it is, when you feel yourself getting upset and you feel the urge to go yell at these people or to restrict their actions or to demand a certain outcome, just understand that software development has always been about getting something done that we don't know how to do up front. So the best way for you as a leader to get what you want is to rapidly engage with the people doing the work. Stop by for their stand-up meetings. Go to their retrospectives. Make sure that you understand the decisions that they're making while they're making them, and that if you're gone for a few days, those decisions could be negated. But this is not simple stuff that these people are doing. This is real work, and the best way for them to get it done, and the best way for you to get it done, is for you to show that you give a damn and that you participate, and to ask yourself every day, what's stopping these people from being able to get their work done, and how can I help make that happen? Okay. Now, for developers, that may have sounded like a great speech, but I'm not I'm not letting you off the hook either. So your job as developers is to be asking every day, how can I be the best developer I can be? What does professionalism mean for me? How am I integrating with my team? Not how am I feeding work to the testers, but how am I integrating work with the team? How am I making sure that technical debt never happens? That we build quality up front? How am I making sure that I understand what the UX of what I'm coding really should be? And if I don't, that I probably shouldn't code the damn thing, right? So we want to ask ourselves every day, what do I do as a developer to make sure that we're developing the best stuff? Okay. Do I feel overloaded? Do I feel pressured by this sprint? Do I feel like I have a good idea of what the customer really needs? Do I feel like I have a good idea of what the customer is currently afraid of? Have I talked recently to management? And by recently, I mean within the last 24 hours, even if it's just hi in the hallway. Don't sequester yourself. Don't lock yourself down. Become part of the company. Okay? That's what I would like you to get from these videos. From clients and customers, people who are hiring software people for hire. This would have been all of the people that I ever worked with in my software company. We did software for hire. You are asking for something from enthusiastic and smart people. And when you sit down and build out an initial plan for how much something's going to cost, how long it's going to take, and what it's going to do, in general, software developers, because they're people, are going to tend to promise more than they can deliver. They're going to be late, it's going to cost more, and it's going to be more difficult than they think. Straight up. Okay? So now that you're scared, just think of it like a house renovation. You're always going to find some mold. You're always going to find ductwork where it's not supposed to be. You're always going to find, rats or bats or something somewhere in the house that you didn't expect. But the goal here isn't to tell a bunch of people, get this work done, and then go off and do it. The goal is for you, just like with management, to be constantly having communication and conversation. So if a team comes to you and they say, we're agile, you say, that's great, but I need to talk to you more than every 2 weeks. You can't just go away for 2 weeks and spend 2 weeks worth of my money and then come back and then tell me something. Okay, because that's kind of the agile program now. It shouldn't be, but it is. So you should be talking to your software developers as often as you possibly can so that you know what's happening, you know what decisions they're making, you know how they're steering the project, you know what surprises they've found. And the more, both for management and for clients, the more you talk, the more you're part of the team, the less you will become siloed from the team, the less likely the team will be to hide information from you. And trust me, we all hide information from each other. We're all like, oh, that's not quite done yet, but I'm going to tell her that it's almost ready. So communication, collaboration, focus, talk to your developers. Then those people at the bottom, the testers, the UXers, the opsers, the folks that, the data scientists, et cetera, you are the ones that actually create a quality product. And you do that by defining what works, both technologically and for the user. Building quality in upfront and not writing technical debt is entirely contingent on code that is written for a purpose. That purpose is what UX is. The user experience isn't necessarily, oh, it was so easy to drag and drop that or to click that or that dialog box came up right at the right time. That's not what UX is. UX is, I need to get something done, and this thing made it so much easier for me. When I go home at night, my stress level is lower because I used this software. That's what UX is. And if we have good UX up front, we have good UX conversations while the coding is being done, If the coding, because we have good UX, has better unit tests, it's not just saying this won't break the build, but it will say it achieves the thing. If the testers are helping write those unit tests, you see where I'm going? If the team is testers and coders and UXers and opsers, if the team is truly a cross-functional team and not 4 silos sitting very close to each other, everyone wins. You combine this with a lot of communication between management or clients, everyone wins. And that's Agile. That's what Agile is. So that's what I want everybody to get out of these videos. So let's have some videos.